Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 5
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
220
5, yeah.
Takes. Song of the Week, Thick of It by KSI. No, I'm just kidding.
but not kidding.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
Like It, I Love It by Tim McGraw. That's a Song of the Week.
I like that.
We've been bumping it all weekend.
Yep.
As always, I'm Connor.
I'm Chris.
I'm Evan.
And, we got a bit of a visual treat for the watchers instead of the listeners.
So we're not going to bring up what it is.
Right? No, yes, we are.
Okay.
Because that might entice them to start
yeah,
watching
yeah,
instead.
you're
Like they
right,
hear,
you're
oh,
right.
like, oh,
Right.
we got a little crackle of the fireplace back here on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple people yell at us. You need something to get on. You need to put something on the TV back there. We thought this is more of a vibe.
Yep.
It's
getting colder out.
Yeah. So more, we're kind of going back to that 220 after dark vibe that we had last week. We got the candle going.
Mm-hmm.
Got everything on the table going. If you look closely, you might see something that might pop up later. We're not going to say it.
Okay.
We're not going to say what it is, but if you look closely, you'll see what it is.
Yep.
Let's just quickly get our flag football game out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We lost. I mean,
We sucked.
Yeah, we did.
I think
Not a
we
good
are
year.
bad.
I had my best game at QB.
Yeah.
I had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, the trifecta.
The trifecta, and I also threw a pick, so we kind of made a square.
Yeah.
I guess Evan came in. He actually threw me my touchdown.
Yeah.
Yep.
So shout out Evan. Chris had his best game.
Yeah,
we
think
all
so.
played good.
Yeah.
Except for the defense. They came out there with 4 people to start the game.
Oh, we don't.
And
We're not gonna bring.
we're not gonna get into that. But they did score a touchdown on the first drive. Actually,
Yeah.
the first play of the game when they had 4 people and our defense had 7.
Yeah.
Let's just say we've been a liability all year on defense. Kind of like Eric Stokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liability.
Well, football's behind us. We're now looking forward to basketball.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna do basketball soon.
End of October.
Yeah.
And I don't expect to lose.
Yep. I don't
Enough
expect to
said.
lose either. A guy like me, I'm like a JJ Redick type.
Yeah.
I'll
I was
put up,
thinking Magic Johnson type.
yeah, both. I'm like
Without the AIDS.
Yes. I'm like the passing of Magic Johnson and the shooting of JJ Redick. So
Right.
So that's kind of my build. Chris, NBA comp?
I'd say I'm a solid. Come back to me. Go to
Okay, Evan, NBA comp?
You know me, I'm kind of like a mix of Steph Curry with like Giannis. That's kind of me.
Okay.
All right, now I got mine.
Okay.
Prime Matisse Thybulle.
Oh, so you just play D.
I play D and I shoot the 3.
Okay.
Oh, and then
3
like
and D.
for me, I always mix in there a little like Leaky Black.
Yeah.
Like
I like that.
NCAA tournament Leaky
Mhm.
Black.
Mhm.
And I like to mix in some Dirk.
Yeah.
A little post action, post work.
Yeah.
NCAA tournament, Frank Kaminsky.
And some Cat for the zestiness.
Yeah.
And I like to mix in a little Clyde Drexler.
Clyde Drexler. Oh, Clyde the Glide?
Clyde the Glide.
Yeah.
I'm dunking at least 5 times. This year.
And also for me a little Michael Jordan because I like to play with my tongue out. But enough of our NBA comps. Let's get back to football. The flag football, obviously we lost. Well, let's jump to Evan.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm nervous.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
we'll jump to Evan. He's got the agenda for us today. Evan, what do we got?
We're
on the
gonna,
slate.
hopefully you guys like the league hopping because we're gonna talk a little bit more about some other things in that, and then basically the usual schedule after that. We're gonna do going over our last week's records, some more news, and some more questions you guys have. Bears Packers, Capper Glazer Hater, this week's new parlay that hopefully we'll all hit.
Mm-hmm.
We just hate losing you guys money, man.
Yeah. I know so many of you put it in. So
Yep.
come on now.
Since we have so many viewers.
Okay.
Just say it, man.
Just say it.
Say what?
You're done with the pod.
I'm not done with the pod. I might be done with the pod after today, but
Dude,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Just say it. Say the other thing you always say.
Yeah.
Say what? No, people watch, bro. People watch.
Okay.
I hope that's
we went out over the weekend. We met some people from Wisconsin. We told them to watch the pod.
Did we?
We did say
Yes,
to
we
watch
did.
the pod.
We'll see. Well, shout out the University of Wisconsin lacrosse club baseball team. If you are watching this,
Congrats on the win.
Yeah, congrats on the win
Congrats
against
on the win.
ISU.
We did go to the game. I don't know if you saw us. We were way
No,
in the
we did
back.
not go to the game, bro. Stop.
Yeah, we
You
went.
didn't. You were. We went.
It was a
Oh,
shutout.
Yeah, it was a shutout.
Okay. Well, anyway, if you're watching,
Yeah.
shout out you guys. You guys were chill. All right, back to you.
Week 6 picks,
Mhm.
and then we'll get to the little parlay punishment for Connor again this week.
Back to back.
I just also want to give a shout out to our Uber driver Sean too.
Yeah.
We didn't tell him about the pod,
Yeah.
but
Maybe
He might find out.
maybe one
in
day.
some divine intervention, this podcast will get to him somehow. And
We'd love for him to sit down
Yeah.
and tell his story
Actually,
about
yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, actually, Sean, our Uber driver Sean, if you want to join the podcast.
I'm just gonna keep Ubering until I get him again.
Yeah.
So, do you want to hop into a little league hopping?
Yeah.
First off, kind of the bigger news in the NBA this week. Obviously, Cat got his first bucket. Everybody saw
Yep.
that. But the even bigger headline, everybody's talking about Bronny.
Bronny.
And
Little James.
yesterday LeBron played with him.
Mhm.
Did anybody hear him call him dad on the court?
No, but I know he was thinking about it.
I know it's not allowed. LeBron said no, dad. So
Okay.
Especially, yeah.
Did we confirm that they drove separately to the game too?
No.
confirm.
But I don't know why you would drive separately.
Apparently,
Like gas
Bronny
prices
moved out.
Yeah, that
That's what I
makes
heard.
sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Never
Well,
mind then.
good for the Jameses.
Yeah.
Obviously this is preseason, so it doesn't really have any effect on the
No.
regular season.
Do you want me to pull up his stats?
No.
but no, it's all right.
I don't think he scored.
Yeah. Well, he did in the first game.
Yeah.
I know he played pretty good defense. I don't think, me personally, I don't think he should be on the main lineup.
No, obviously
I think he should start in the G League,
Yeah.
get some reps down there before eventually, getting the call to the big leagues. But just throwing him out there like day one.
Yeah.
I mean, even though your dad's LeBron and he can, coach you on some things, but he can't coach you on everything.
And he's not the one playing at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah, I think we need to stop acting like the G League's a bad thing.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I mean,
Mac McClung,
yeah. Oh, I mean, he can only dunk, bro.
well, yeah, but he's in the G League.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, minor
G
leagues,
League players.
minor league systems. I
Yeah.
do that in air quotes because not everybody calls it the minor leagues,
Mhm.
obviously, but they're very useful. MLB uses it very very heavily. The
Mhm.
NBA, the G League is, I wouldn't say a new thing,
right.
but like in terms of the history of the NBA, it is a newer thing,
hmm
and I think they should start to utilize that more.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the NFL doesn't have anything like that in place.
No, not yet.
The NHL does, and I think leagues like that where you can kind of start playing with other people that are on your same level that you just got drafted with.
Yeah.
That way, then you can work your way up eventually. Get the pace of the game, because obviously the pace of the game is different than what you just played in college. So
Mhm.
get the pace of the game kind of at that professional level, and then moving up once you're ready is just I think that they should use that more often than they
Yeah.
actually do.
I agree.
What do you think about the idea of him, should he have stayed another year in college? Because I know a lot of people say, it might be LeBron's last year, so maybe he kind of rushed it to get into the league because he knew that LeBron might be retiring after this year. Or do you think that's the case, or do you think he should have stayed another year?
Chris?
Well, I can't remember. Was it Sean who was talking about? I can't remember who said this.
Our Uber driver was talking a lot
He
about
had some
Bronny.
very valid points. I can't remember. Maybe someone else said it, but one of the main points was that with this draft class being so weak,
Yeah.
was that Sean who said
Yeah, it
that?
was.
Yeah.
With this draft class being so weak, it was kind of like the best opportunity he was going to get. Because even on USC, he wasn't getting, starting rotation minutes, and he was kind of getting shadowed by some of the better players. So to be able to have the LeBron hype all around him, I think going in now is probably the best chance he would have had to get drafted.
Yeah, I agree. And the right move probably would have been to stay
I
another
agree.
year.
Yeah.
But if the end goal was for LeBron to play with his son and for Bronny to play with LeBron, this was the right year to do it, because next year's draft class is even more stacked.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
It's a lot more stacked than this year's
Oh, yeah.
was. Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
So I think if that was the play, then this was the right time to do it. But personally, I don't think. I think
Yeah.
I think Bronny should have stayed another year.
I
Okay.
agree.
That's basically it for the NBA. Just news in general. There's going to be more coming up when they start the regular season. Something that is a little bit more interesting right now is MLB playoffs.
Yeah.
I know Connor's kind of going to talk about this a little bit more in depth, but you can kind of see him wearing the Brew Crew sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It was a rough Thursday for me. If we can just say that. I mean,
It's very true.
I thought they had it in the bag, and for them to give it up like that and go out like that, that one hurts even more than if they just got killed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the Brewers had it as well. When Devin Williams comes into the game in the top of the ninth, usually it's game over.
Yeah.
But allegedly he was tipping pitches, and the Mets batting coach picked up on it. Good on him, and ended up telling the players that were coming up to bat. So
that stinks.
but yeah, such an interesting game, such an interesting series. Not a lot of the wild. Actually, I believe this was the only wild card series that ended up going to 3 games. All the other ones I believe ended in sweeps. Which this is I miss the old days where the wild card was just 1 game.
I do too.
And I know if a series gets split, then eventually it's just like it was 1 game because the game 3 is pretty much winner go home. But I feel like there's just so much more at stake if it's just 1 game than it is if it's a series. Because if it's a series, if you lose game 1, we play them tomorrow, we can kind of come back and from this and whatever. But when it was 1 game, it's
like anyone can
win. Exactly. Everybody's on their A game. They're pitching their aces.
Yep.
They're trying to advance to the next round, and the wild card moving to a series kind of takes away from that. But the AL, the division series started over the weekend. Ohtani went crazy against the Padres. Shocker. The Padres the broadcast started putting up, a graphic of Ohtani. It was like Ohtani 3 batters away.
That's Glaze.
Crazy Glaze.
Yeah.
Who glazes who more? The MLB glazing Ohtani or Chris Collinsworth glazing Mahomes? Because that's kind of gotten out of hand.
I still think it's Mahomes. I'm not gonna lie.
It's got to be Mahomes, and tonight he was glazing him a lot.
Yeah.
It was out of hand, and I don't know. You were kind of saying it earlier that you think that he knows that people kind of make fun of him for it, and he just plays into it just to make people even more make him talk about it and make him more mad at the same time.
I guess,
Besides Chiefs fans, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Dodgers won game 1, Padres won game 2. That's going to be an interesting series.
Yeah, for sure.
The Royals just took down the Yankees a little bit ago, so now that series is split 1-1. The Guardians Tigers series is now 1-1. Kerry Carpenter with the go-ahead 3-run home run in the top of the 9th, kind of akin to what happened against the with the Brewers. Good baseball. I love me some playoff baseball. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future. For the World Series, I mean, obviously the favorite is probably still Yankees. Dodgers, still the boring pick. It'd be a lot fun to see a team like the Royals get in there. One of my favorite players, Bobby Witt. Shout out him. But the Yankees and Dodgers, they win in the preseason. Like everybody's like, oh, well, for the Dodgers especially since they spent so much money in the offseason. I really hope somebody takes them down. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And honestly, the Padres would be a good team to do it. I like the Padres. Tatis, I'm a really big Tatis fan.
Yeah.
Former White Sox.
Really?
Definitely lost that trade for sure.
I did not know that.
Back when he was a prospect.
Oh,
so
okay.
You don't know if he's gonna be good or not. So they kind of traded him.
You don't think that a Phillies and Dodgers World Series though, wouldn't it be the most the most fun to watch one though?
Yeah, Phillies Dodgers World Series would be impossible.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
it would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting if that happened. A Yankees Dodgers World
That's
Series.
what I meant.
I mean, that would be probably the most competitive series since it's the 2 powerhouses.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you took a Royals Padres series would still be very interesting.
Yeah.
If you took like the Dodgers versus I don't know, one of the lower teams in the AL, like the Royals or the Tigers. Like a Dodgers Tigers World Series would be, in my opinion, quite boring.
Hey, you never know though.
Yeah, never know.
You never
I
know.
think Mets Yankees would be fun.
Yeah.
New York.
I need Bryce Harper to get a ring.
Yeah,
So I want the Phillies to
I
win
do.
it
I
all.
do like that. Go Phillies.
Go Phillies.
Or Royals. Phillies Royals World Series. I like that.
I like
Harper
that
versus
too.
Witt.
Okay.
I like that.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll talk more about baseball once the playoffs keep going. Obviously.
Yeah.
We'll have somebody on talk about World Series time or whatever. But as of right now, that's kind of all I got on baseball.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks for that, Connor.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend with college football. There was a lot of upsets, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to tell you which ones were the upsets that we're talking about. And now I don't not necessarily want to know like what you thought about each individual game, but just what do you make of all these upsets? And let me just start out with we got Texas A&M, Missouri. Texas A&M beat them. 25th ranked team beating a 9th ranked team.
Yeah.
Not that crazy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say though, what a weekend for college football for us kind of being like, it's not really that crazy.
Yeah.
Like, like not a lot of good matchups, but then
A bigger one here though. An unranked Arkansas beats Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's big.
That's a big one.
Man.
Washington beats Michigan, a 10th ranked Michigan.
Yeah.
Minnesota beats USC.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Cal almost beat Miami. Miami
was a
came
great
back at the
game.
end, but like, what do you guys make of like just these, especially the unranked teams beating these ranked teams, especially like with Alabama losing as well. Like they just beat Georgia and then they get their number 1 seed for 1 week and then just like that it's gone. What did they drop back to?
5.
7. They dropped down to
Or
7.
7.
I don't
What do you
get
kind of
that.
make of that?
I don't know. It's just an
don't
interesting
know.
week. And I know we talked about upsets in the NFL like a couple weeks ago, but like, obviously going into the game, everybody's like, "Oh, Bama's just gonna run all over them."
Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
It's Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's more of a baseball school.
Yep.
So you're like, whatever. Jay Cutler, shout out Jay Cutler, Vanderbilt alum. But that like, upsets are so interesting, right?
Especially
Like,
in college football.
yeah, like the number 1 ranked team. Well, they go into Vandy. So I guess Vandy had, home field advantage.
And that's awesome.
But I mean, even looking at a team like Alabama, that doesn't really.
Yeah.
No,
that wouldn't
you
really
would
matter.
think, yeah.
Well, you think that wouldn't really matter?
They got NFL level talent pretty much starting everywhere.
Right, exactly. Like Bama's the type of school that like, I wouldn't say all of the team, but like a lot of their starters
80%.
would get drafted to the NFL, and then you look at Vanderbilt, and I'm not dissing anybody on Vanderbilt, but I would say maybe 1 or 2 of the players on their team would get drafted in the NFL.
Yeah, I think they're saying like that guy that did the interview for Vanderbilt at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
The quarterback, yeah.
They were saying that he had no D1 offers to any school except for like a 1 D1 like wrestling scholarship, like half scholarship to Nebraska.
Yeah.
And like it's just crazy. Like a team like that can go in and beat like Alabama. And I just think the reason I think it happens is because there's so many teams to be able to keep track of. You never know like a 4-0 team. What was Vanderbilt's
They were like
record?
2-2, I believe.
Yeah, I think
500.
Like, see, that makes it even more crazy. But I still do think that it's hard to keep up with all these teams. You don't know how actually good they are, and I don't know. It makes it way more entertaining that just that any team can come in and beat.
Yeah.
Someone.
Always got to root for the underdog.
Well, yeah, and it's so easy, especially being a school in Alabama, to be like, oh, it's just Vandy. Like we're gonna prepare, but we're focused on playing A&M later in the year, Oklahoma, any of the new teams. But yeah, that's what I just like so much about college football is any team can lose at any time, and like any game, like that game wasn't like premier, no one thought it'd be good, but it suddenly became like probably one of the best games of the week.
Yeah, and
So
like
I just think that's awesome.
Going off of that, kind of you said in the beginning, like, do you think that it is because like schools like Alabama, they're not really worried about Vanderbilt going into the game, and they're like, oh, well, we have all these other teams to play, coming up that are ranked teams. So, like they kind of play down to the level of Vanderbilt because they're just like they're not taking them serious enough.
I do think that is a
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
Because like you look at the NFL, everybody, I mean you kind of know what you're getting because you have.
Play basically
I feel like you have a
the
lot
same
more
team.
time
Yeah.
Right.
to prepare for a team.
And with how NFL rosters don't really change as much as college.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Alabama's new roster almost, every 2 years with how long players have to wait. Yeah, I mean, you really just don't know who you're going up against.
Kind of bouncing off, just staying on college for a little bit. Would you guys say the Heisman favorite is Ashton Genty from Boise State?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. Like, just to like put it in perspective of how crazy of a game that he was having. We were in the Uber on the way to Applebee's.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out the Dollar Zombie.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, I wonder how Ashton Genty's doing. And I was like, oh, I'll check. And I go, oh, he's got 3 touchdowns and 186. And I'm like, and it's still the second quarter.
Not even halftime yet.
Yeah, we were like, what? It's not even halftime. Like this guy, and he didn't even play the second half, which
he
is
didn't
fair.
need to.
Yeah,
That would've
actually,
been
that
stat
stat line I saw a video about it today. 186 yards, 3 touchdowns brought his averages down.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was his line at? Like 190?
Yeah, his line was like
his line.
I think it was like 190.
You would have to do like a double take on that and be like that. Like if you didn't really know who he was, you'd have to be like, there's no way this is a real line.
Yeah. And I mean you could chalk it up to his comp.
I was gonna say that.
But week 2 they played Oregon.
Right.
And he put up like the same stat line.
Well, and just, I did say I haven't, you don't really tune into a Boise State game, except now.
Yeah.
I did watch a lot of the highlights, and I really don't think it matters. He could do that to any team. He's just a hard runner, and he's fast. He's really fast.
Do you think the Heisman voters would give bias to the fact that, he's not in like the SEC or Big 12 or Big 10?
Not if he's having performances like he is.
Right.
To like teams like Oregon and
well, I did look at their schedule. I don't think they play any other like comp opponents, like ranked opponents. So I
think kind of just because this is how I feel college football is, just because of the hype around him. I think if they win out, won't have a hard time making the college football playoff.
I mean, I do think he's on pace for. I think it's like 3,000 rushing yards and 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I mean, you look at it like that's nothing to scoff at.
That's what I was gonna say. You can look at competition, but like 3,000 rushing yards.
It gets to a point where you're like,
that's ridiculous.
You have to.
Yeah, like you can't give it.
Like some passers.
Yeah.
Like that's like
some
like
college
passing,
quarterbacks don't get
that's
that.
like passing quarterback stats.
Right.
Like,
and I really don't know.
He's just rushing all over teams like this.
You can make a case for Travis Hunter, but I really don't know who would even be up there with him right now.
I think probably the finalists would be Jalen Milroe, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, and then Cam Ward.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd say Cam Ward up there. I don't know, but Ewers is
not even
hurt.
Ewers
Right,
because he's hurt.
I mean,
And
Ewers
Ewers
would have to come back and like
Have like crazy
ball
games.
out. Yeah.
Right. And maybe Ryan Williams, but
No, I don't. I think it's too early for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Maybe next year
Yeah,
if he doesn't
maybe
go to the
next year.
NFL.
I mean, there's some arguments about like, is he even the best college freshman out there? I mean, Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State's playing really good.
He's playing out of his mind.
Like we said last week, this is just a great era of college football.
I love it.
Talent's getting better. So shout out Ashton Genty if you want to join the pod.
I keep seeing this. I keep liking your TikToks.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Well, I think that's it for league hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll hop back into the leagues next week.
Yep. Connor, I'm gonna pass it back to you. If you can kind of go over last week's records.
Last week's records.
It wasn't a good week for really anybody.
Right.
But we'd like to get those numbers up.
It's hard to predict.
I won the week.
Yeah.
Again.
Shout out.
I went 8-6, which brings my record to 31-31.
All right.
Even.
500.
Which I'm glad after that, rough showing week 1.
Yeah.
I kind of
improved.
Chris went 7-7.
Yeah.
Which brings his record to 30-32. So you're one game back.
Yeah, I'm below. Got worse.
And Ivan went 6-8,
Okay.
which brings his record to 30-32 as well.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys are both 30-32, and
we're
I'm
all
in the
in it.
lead at 31-31.
We're all
Nobody
in
would
it.
have thought I would have been here after my performance week 1, but here I am. Like I said, all it took was a couple weeks.
It's taking those underdogs though.
Yeah.
That's helping.
Yeah.
Might have to get more risky.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about. Well, we're gonna get into the parlay punishment at the end of the video, but let's kind of talk about our anytime touchdown picks from last week, and just kind of. I don't know what our thinking was going through our head when we picked them, and kind of how we're feeling after.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Chris obviously are feeling good about it. Go ahead.
I really don't have a lot to say. Derrick Henry was a very safe pick. I kind of feel like I don't really want to play so safe anymore. But yeah, I think it was like the first drive maybe.
Yeah,
they were on the 1, and Derrick Henry just takes it in. So I was feeling good the rest of the Sunday after the 12 o'clock games.
Yeah, I picked Josh Jacobs. I know I picked him the first week we did this, and he hasn't had a touchdown since then. I don't know. I just had a feeling that they needed to get the run game going in order to kind of like start winning these games. And I just thought, I don't know. It was like I was in the locker room. I knew what their plan was going to be. And he actually had a really good touchdown. They handed the ball, and then he went right up the middle. Basically, it got clogged up right away, and he bounced it to the outside, and then kind of ran around a couple defenders and went in. So me and Chris were watching that. I was happy.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, it's up to Connor now.
I wanted to win some money, and then
I picked Jordan Mason.
What were your thoughts on picking him?
Yeah.
The 49ers were playing the Cardinals, who the week before against the Commanders gave up tons of yards, tons of rushing touchdowns. I think they gave up like 3. 1 to Jaden Daniels, 1 to Brian Robinson, 1 to somebody else. I don't know. Jeremy McNichols, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and Jordan Mason, I think, I don't know if he's gotten a touchdown every game, but, I mean, he's scored quite a bit. So I figured they had to get down the field, and, I don't know, at the 5, they'd hand it off, and he could get it in, but he couldn't, so.
Enough said.
That's pretty much all I have to say. It's not like I can celebrate him scoring, but, at least going into it, I thought the matchup looked good. So
yeah, it wasn't a bad pick. None of the picks were bad, but it just happens sometimes.
And that's that, and we'll move on to the next week, and we're gonna hopefully have a better next week.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some news, and then we'll answer some questions at the end.
Okay.
Kind of a big one from last week. I don't know if we really talked about this last week.
no, I think this happened after we filmed.
I think it did. We filmed a little earlier, so I
Yeah.
think this got announced later.
Maybe, I don't think it did.
Let's hear it anyways.
I don't know. But the Rasheed Rice out for the season.
Oh, that I thought you were talking about Devontae.
I think that got announced yesterday or today.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, we knew he was injured.
Did we talk about what happened? Oh, we did.
We did talk about Rasheed Rice, but we had talked about that potentially
ACL
it wasn't going to be season ending.
Yeah.
But now it is season ending.
Right.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So he's
I
out.
was talking about Devontae.
No. That's next. That's next.
Yeah.
But Rasheed Rice out for the season.
Yep.
Obviously, the Chiefs still got the dub this week.
Yeah, they didn't look like they had a couple players step up like Juju. Didn't know he was still like that, but yeah, I think they'll miss him eventually. But as of right now, they're not, struggling.
And who knows? Maybe they'll give up an arm and a leg for the next guy on the news list.
That's true.
Yeah.
Devontae, who has requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
I mean, it's potentially possible. I don't really see the Raiders trading to a division rival.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that.
Unless they gave up
especially
a king's ransom.
They'd probably want at least a first.
Yeah, I know the asking price right now I think is a second, but if they wanted to trade to the Chiefs, I think it would have to be a first.
Be a good amount.
Yeah.
I think the most logical landing spot is the Jets.
Yeah.
Reunite with Rodgers, or the Ravens.
Yeah, I really like the Ravens.
But honestly, anywhere else other than the Raiders is good for him.
Yeah.
And better for my fantasy team.
Yeah, they just got to make the contracts work. That's the biggest thing. So.
And the Raiders have said that they aren't accepting anything worse than a second round pick for him. So it's also got to be a team that wants
Who's
to
got
give
capital?
up that.
Yeah. Win now mode.
Win now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that it's probably going to be a second and a player.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the Rodgers Devontae reunion would be cool. And I think that only makes his stock go up, even with Garrett Wilson there, because they just have such a good connection.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what Bill Belichick had to say. You know, I was kind of listening on that video, and he was kind of talking about how they may have said, like, let's start with the second and use that as a way to be like, let's see who's interested. Then if no one's really giving him a second, then maybe they're looking at keeping him the rest of the season. Because he said it has a lot to do with if Devontae is going to want to re-sign with the team he gets traded to.
Oh, okay.
So I think that could be playing a big role into it. And, you know, like we said, maybe the Jets do want to give up a second for him because of the Rodgers connection.
Also, speaking of that Bill video, he did bring up that a lot of the teams in the NFL don't even have cap room for him. Anyway, so they would need the Raiders to eat a lot of the money. So that would also play into it a lot. So
And you got to think that Devontae is also thinking about if they do trade him to the Jets, you know, is Aaron done after this year?
Right.
What does he do after that?
Right.
So that's also like something, and I'm not sure it's necessarily even Devontae's decision.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure maybe he has some like role in it, but I wouldn't say a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
I'm sure like if a good deal comes on, the Raiders will take it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much. Hopefully, maybe something will work out this week. Or I know he's still dealing with the hamstring. So.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Dealing with the hamstring.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I
We all
don't know.
deal with the hamstring. Come on.
We also a little drama out of the Packers young wide receiver Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah.
It was reported he practiced Wednesday, and then he just basically, the reports say that he just didn't show up on Thursday or Friday, like just didn't come and didn't say anything to anybody. And then like some of the Packers officials or whatever like showed up at his house or something. Is what they said.
That's funny.
And apparently he wasn't happy with his role on the team, which I don't really know how that's possible because I think he was like second on the team in like targets or like catches or whatever. And does he really even have the right to be like that?
That's true. Still being on his rookie
Still
deal.
being on his rookie deal with a wide receiver room who has a lot of talent and a lot of people are going to get the ball. Like, if you're in your third year and you're already thinking about me, like, and you're not thinking about your team, that to me is a red flag in itself, and that's not something that I like to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys really have any thoughts on it, but that was kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I honestly agree with.
I'm not really happy. I'm not really
agree
happy
too.
about it. But today, Matt LaFleur said that they had a talk, and apparently he was happy the way it went, and he's gonna be back at practice on Wednesday. And then they tried to ask him about like if he was upset about not getting the ball and blah blah blah, and Matt LaFleur basically said, "I'm not answering that."
Yeah. Like you said, his stats look pretty much identical to like the past seasons. Like he's gonna put up the same numbers he would, maybe a little more, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he expects, like you said, with it being such a stacked room.
I don't really get it, and I feel like there's more to it.
Yeah, there
but
definitely is.
I mean, whatever. He's back,
Do
and
you miss him? Would you miss him if he left? Maybe a little bit.
I mean, yeah, like I obviously like him, and this does kind of make me feel a certain way about him a little bit, like every time I see him. But like, not that I'm seeing him,
Yeah, I was about to-
Right.
but like when I see him like on TV or in the field, but I don't know. I mean, they played fine without him. I mean, it didn't seem like it was like they skipped a beat or anything. You know, like they seemed fine. So I don't really know. I wouldn't miss him, but I also like don't wish him to leave. You know, like I would like him to be on the team, which it looks like it's going to happen. And then I think you guys you want to talk about something about Jaquan Brisker?
Yeah. Reports came out today.
Yeah.
He's not traveling with the team to London. I don't believe he's playing. I believe he suffered a concussion on that hit he had on Tommy Tremble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I think Tommy Tremble also.
Yeah, that was just not a good hit.
So prayers up to Jaquan Brisker and Tommy Tremble.
Yeah.
But I mean, they said I saw the report. One of the reports said that he's not traveling with the team, but he could still play.
Okay.
And then another report said that he was out. So
still up.
I'm gonna guess he's not gonna play.
I mean, should he play?
Probably not.
I mean, yeah, I'd rather him just rest a game.
Mhm.
Maybe see if we have the backup.
Yeah,
is
Jonathan
good.
Owens, I'm sure will
Oh,
probably play. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
yeah. We'll see him. Well, we have the bye, and we have the bye after that, so I
Okay.
think it's a good
why
resting
risk
point.
anything?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I kind of want to talk a little bit about some NFL upsets. So, obviously the Bears beat the I'm just kidding. But no, for real, we had the Giants beating the Seahawks, and we all had the Seahawks. I'm pretty sure winning.
Yeah.
And what is this? The second week in a row the Giants have won?
Yeah.
No,
No,
because they lost to the Cowboys on Thursday
You're
night.
right.
The week before.
That game kind of left my mind from how boring it
But
was.
still surprising with Malik Neighbors
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and Daniel Jones played pretty good. Like, I mean, it wasn't a bad game. Any thoughts on that?
Maybe Kay Adams gave him the ultimatum, like start playing good or we're breaking up.
I mean, I'd play a
Right.
lot better.
Yeah,
I'd
I
turn
would
it
too.
up.
I think yeah, it's just like especially with the Seahawks that just put up a great game against the Lions on Monday night,
Yeah.
Right.
and then they just go against the Giants, who I wouldn't say an inferior team, but
They are inferior.
yeah, sure, especially without their number one receiver Malik Neighbors, and just lose.
You just
like it's
you just have two weird teams.
Yeah.
Like Seattle can, like you said, beat a team like Detroit.
well, they didn't beat them, but they just played a really good game.
Yeah. Almost beat them.
Yeah.
And then now lose.
Right,
to the
like Kenneth
Giants,
Walker put up 3 touchdowns against the Lions.
and now he's gone.
And
He
yeah, he
disappeared
didn't do
this
anything.
game.
Although I have heard about the Lions curse. I don't know if you guys have heard about this.
I've not
What?
heard about this.
But it's a team will play the Lions, and then the week after
They
lose.
Really?
So like
Uh-oh.
so like the Buccaneers beat the Lions, and then the week after they lost. The Seahawks just played the Lions. The week after they lose to the Giants.
That didn't happen last year to the Packers, though.
Well, it's more of this.
Well,
year
it's
thing.
a this year thing.
Oh,
this
it's this
year.
year thing. I gotcha.
Well, I hope that's not true.
The Dolphins beat the Patriots,
Mhm.
and usually we wouldn't think of the Dolphins being a underdog to the Patriots, but with that QB situation, Tyler Huntley stepped up, and a Patriots team that hasn't looked great this year, but they, a team that we thought would beat, well, I picked the Dolphins. And Chris, did you pick the Dolphins?
No, I did not.
They've
Yeah.
been in some games.
Yeah, they've been in
Like,
some games.
They beat the Bengals.
Beat the Bengals, which aren't
That's
looking
why.
that
Yeah.
great, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. That's an interesting one with Tua still sidelined. I don't know how much longer he'll be out.
I believe they put him on IR.
Okay.
So
They just put him on IR?
No,
When he got injured.
I think like after the concussion.
Yeah, I think he's been on IR.
Okay, so he's like 2 weeks
So I think
in.
week 7 or week 8
Okay.
is a return.
I don't know. I mean, they just look bad though. That game was kind of up in the air for whoever just kind of wanted it. Yeah, the Dolphins need to do something at QB soon
Okay.
because they're 1-4 now.
The Dolphins?
Yeah,
No, they're
sure.
2. They have 2 wins for sure.
Oh yeah, they won. Yeah, 2-4 or 2-3.
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
I don't know. There's no way they survive in that division without a quarterback.
Mhm.
So maybe
Yeah.
Tua comes back. I don't know.
Outside of the upsets, I did want to talk about, kind of what you guys probably agree, but with kind of my,
Thank you.
bless you, my game of the
Hopefully I
week, Bengals and Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
That was one that could have been anybody's game
Yeah.
at the end. I mean, I think Joe Burrow put up what do you have, four touchdowns? 5
I
touchdowns?
think he had 5.
And I don't know how many yards, over 400, maybe even 500.
No, he had
take a look.
400.
Oh, he's pulling it up.
Yeah, he had 392.
Oh.
Okay, so almost 400 yards.
Speaking of 500 yards, though, Big Kirko on Thursday.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the.
Yeah.
After I was like talking bad about like the Thursday and Monday night
Yeah.
games,
We get two.
we get
great
two
ones.
pretty good ones. Yeah, he stepped up. Darnell Mooney, former Bear, he looked
Yeah,
good.
that was a really good game too. High scoring.
Yeah.
Mike Evans with those 2 touchdowns like right off the bat.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the reason I was thinking like the Ravens Bengals was because just to like how close it was at the end of the game, where, Lamar fumbles the ball,
Yeah.
and then the Bengals get on it and they go down the field and they have a chance to make a field goal, and the snapper, not the snapper, the holder, like drops the ball and then like barely gets it like set up on the ground for McPherson to kick it, and he just misses like wide left. And then the play right after that, Derrick Henry does what Derrick Henry does and took off all the way down the field for a chip shot for Tucker to win the game. But I don't know, that was just like such a good game. Lamar maybe had like the play of the year in that game.
Yeah.
Like similar to like when he lost the ball at the end of the game, except he made like
a big play out of
it. A big play out of it. To Isaiah Likely, who had a big week. His first big week since
week one,
and everybody had him hyped up after that. I don't know. I mean, there were a lot of good games on this week, I thought. I mean, the noon games, like almost every single one was close.
Yeah. Except Bears, Panthers.
Yeah, but the Houston Built.
Yeah.
The Houston and Buffalo game, that was a really good game.
Yeah.
That the Bills probably should have won that one. But
I don't even know. I don't know.
There were so many close games, it's hard to keep track of them, to be honest. Like
good football weekend.
Yeah, it was definitely a good football weekend. Let's talk Bears Packers. So I think this is the first week that we both can be kind of come out of the week happy for our teams winning, and we maybe don't have as much to talk about and as much to be mad about. So why don't you guys start out talking about a little bit about the Bears?
Do you have a lot to say?
Yeah, well, not a lot, but I mean, Caleb had his best week yet as a Bear. No turnovers, which is great, and one of the biggest parts for me was the O-line.
Yeah.
They actually looked competent, and they looked good against the Rams, but I mean, I know we were playing the Panthers.
Well,
but,
I heard the Panthers have a pretty solid front.
Yeah.
So they're still an NFL team.
Yeah, but the footwork looked nice. It looked like they were. It just all around they actually looked like a cohesive.
But you as a former center, you can really nitpick those details. So you know what greatness looks like on the line.
But yeah, DeAndre Swift played another really good game, which is good to see.
Play calling.
The play calling actually was pretty good. They're using DJ Moore a lot now, which is nice. I think Shane Waldron took the whole get more aggressive thing to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean,
they got a pick too, right? The defense got a pick. Or did they?
They forced a fumble. They forced a couple fumbles.
Okay.
I don't remember if they got a pick, but we definitely had a couple turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, I can try and pull it up here.
Here, you go ahead and talk.
Okay.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had a feeling we're going to be saying the same things. I'll say it again. Caleb played great. It's great to see what he can do when he has a pocket to throw in. And I feel like he's getting more comfortable and trusting in the pocket. So he's been in there a lot. I really wish he got that rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty cool to see. But, yeah, a lot more confidence with the throws. Defense continues to play well. And I don't know. I just think DeAndre Swift took the Roshan comments personally, and he's been kind of the difference maker.
Yeah.
So I hope he keeps doing his thing, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
Kevin Byard did get a pick.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yes, I do remember that.
And yeah, I do want to say I watched the whole Bears game, and they look so much better. Especially the line, and I've been preaching this. I mean, not on the pod as much, but just to Bears fans in general, is just you need to get a good line behind your quarterback because it makes so much difference.
In front of your quarterback.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fair.
in front of him. It makes such a difference in just the way that your quarterback can play the game. You don't want him to be scrambling for his life out there all game. Maybe there'll be a couple plays where that might happen, but no, I mean I thought this was the first game, at least for me, where I thought Caleb Williams really looked like what he was drafted to do.
Yeah.
So, hey, get on you guys, man.
Yeah.
Going into the Packers game, did you have something to say?
No. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean,
I was gonna hype you up.
there's a lot. There's definitely a lot for them to clean up for sure. They started slow, and Jordan Love had probably the worst play of his career. His first pick six that he's thrown.
Worst play of the No, not the worst play of the season, but
That's what Levis.
it was a pretty bad. It was a pretty.
No, it was a bad pick, and
Yeah.
I think he acknowledges that. And he was just like, I'm trying to make a play and throw it out of bounds. He probably should have thrown it at the ground, or he had a guy right there. But the thing I liked about it was that right after that pick, he went like 9 for 9, 2 touchdowns, and like 100 and something yards. And that's just kind of like a testament to the player he is. And he never really has any like emotions. He's always just, it is what it is, and you can't do anything about it. And that's kind of what I like about him, is he just is unfazed by like anything that happens in a game. And the defense played all right. I mean, they were down Jair this game, which seemed to hurt him. As I said in the beginning of the podcast, Eric Stokes is a liability. And I do think that if it wasn't for Xavier McKinney and him getting 5 straight picks in five games, that their defense would look a whole lot different. Just the turnovers that they're forcing in general, their whole defense would look a lot different. So that's playing a big part of the league in takeaways still. That being said, so much more to clean up. Like, the penalties were insane. I liked obviously what they did in the run game, and I mean that's really that. But I do feel like I want to talk about the Xavier McKinney a little bit more, and not just like because he's on the Packers, but like just how crazy it is to have 5 games and 5 picks. I don't think, like they said, it's the first time in the new era that anybody's done that. That's insane.
Yeah, I think it is insane for sure. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of his picks, but he's just ball hawking out there.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a lot of times, I don't know if a quarterback, I think he has really good like closing speed in, because it seems like the quarterbacks just don't realize he's there. And then next thing you know, he is, and he's picking that ball off. So yeah, it's definitely a great ball hawking.
He's definitely already, he's been paying dividends to the contract we gave him like from the start. So
reminds me a lot of 2018 Eddie Jackson.
I was just gonna say that, or like a 2011, 2012 Chris Conti.
No, but like 2018 Eddie Jackson, like he, with your comments about closing speed, he could move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A couple of his picks that year were kind of crazy. So,
and I mean,
good on Xavier McKinney.
I mean, just like one last thing on that. Not only did he get a pick in the game, but you're talking about a guy like Matt Stafford, who's like one of the best in the league in like looking guys off.
Yeah.
And he has his no lookers, and yeah, I mean, just good on him and in general, I would say, for that.
Should we get into some questions?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's do some questions.
And as I forgot again about the questions. 2 weeks in a row.
I got a couple of questions. I actually have 3. We'll start off. I'm going to ask both of you guys this because I have a feeling I know both of you guys' answers.
Okay.
This one comes from my dad, so shout out, Dad.
Shout out.
Shout out, Dad.
After 5 weeks, would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams?
Okay. I'll go first. I'm going to say Caleb, obviously with bias. And my reasoning is I feel like we've seen a lot more growth in Caleb than we have in Jaden Daniels. Because I feel like Jaden Daniels has gone out there and played great these first couple games, but I feel like he hasn't gotten better. And not saying he's not going to get better, but I'm just saying, like, he's kind of been like, all right, this is what I got. Here it is. I'm playing great. Like, he's done a great job with completion percentage, and he's had a lot of good deep thrown balls that Caleb, has been missing. But just from a Bears fan and, like, a progressive standpoint, I like that Caleb's getting better every week. So that makes me think he's just going to get even more better by the end of the season.
I mean,
How rusty.
I think it's obvious that it's Jaden Daniels, and like, no disrespect, but like, that's crazy. I don't know. I just think that's crazy talk.
I don't know if it's crazy because
if you look at the stats,
I mean, he has a bias. Obviously, there's a bias in play.
I mean,
No,
if
there's
you look at the stats.
If you look at the
The
stats,
past 2 weeks, he's been throwing more picks, and his completion percentage has gone down.
But like, we're talking about a guy that people are saying, is he maybe one of the best rookies, like starters right off the bat ever? Like, I've heard people say that. Like, I don't even think it's a question.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can say that he's maybe regressed, like if you really want to make that argument. But if you just simply take Caleb Williams' first 3 games and put that out there, I don't think that it's even a question, like who you would rather have through 5 weeks. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's just like a straight up baller, and you can tell like his coaches already trust him a lot, and to make like tough decisions at the end of the game. I mean, I can understand like picking Caleb Williams because you're a Bears fan, but like I can't get behind that take at all. Like, I don't even think it's close. And
I mean,
maybe it might change by the end of the season, but like, I don't even think right now that it's close. Just looking at the stats and like QBR and their QBR and their rating and everything. Like,
I think they have the same amount of touchdown passes.
Yeah, but Jaden runs.
But Jaden
Right, Jaden has his 4 extra rushing touchdhdowns,
which means a lot.
which does mean a lot.
That's that's 28 points.
I mean, I'm just thinking, goal line, he's going to run versus the Bears, who are more of a traditional giving to the running back kind of deal. But yeah, I'm not going to disrespect Jaden Daniels at all. But yeah, I mean, only time will tell. I won't lie and say Jaden Daniels hasn't been better of the two, but I'm thinking more long term,
Yeah.
All right. We'll do a couple award predictions. MVP?
I don't even know. I kind of want to say Lamar at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh Allen kind of shot himself in the foot the past 2 weeks.
I think it's pretty obvious that it's Lamar. I mean, he's just the one that you can just tell he's been outshining everybody. He's just making like crazy play after crazy play. And we talked about the fumbled snap one where he made something out of nothing. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's really even a question that it's him right now.
I mean, you can make a case for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I've seen
but I
people been
think
doing
that's
that.
more of
After this past week, though, he didn't play that well.
That's more of a comeback player of the year
It's
kind
more,
of situation.
Yeah, like if they're not 5-0, maybe you don't talk as much about Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think Aaron Rodgers has that one wrapped up. To be honest,
Really?
I just think he'll get it.
Comeback player of the year?
Yeah.
I guess I could see that. Not a lot of players, especially at his age, are coming back.
Yeah. And if they
Achilles
go
injuries.
story route kind of that, because Joe Flacco won it last year, right?
Yeah.
As long as they make the playoffs, I think he's got it wrapped.
I think
agree
it
if they make the
was
play.
it was either Flacco or DeMar Hamlin. I don't remember who won.
I don't know.
And I got this. I was talking to Mitch today. Shout out Mitch. He said the Vikings are gonna be heading downhill pretty soon.
Yeah, I believe I think the guys that we talked to when we went out the other day were saying the Vikings are on fraud watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that defense is
that defense
is really good. That defense will always keep, kind of like the Bears. That defense will always keep them in games.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
So I mean, only time will tell. They have a bye this week.
Hey, once the division games hit,
Yes.
who knows with the NFC
Facts.
North?
And
Who honestly
I mean,
knows?
NFC North is the only division in the league where all teams are over 500.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So maybe most competitive league.
I would
division?
I would say that, yeah. Well,
I mean,
NFC South though.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's possible all teams from the NFC North can make the playoffs.
I would love that. That'd be
That would be
interesting.
insane.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Offensive player of the year? I mean, are we looking at like a Jefferson,
Right.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase?
I definitely.
I'm not really seeing any running backs that are standing out. Maybe
No.
Saquon
Derrick Henry.
or Derrick Henry.
That's probably the front runner right
Yeah.
now, which is, I mean, you're taking MVP, Lamar Jackson, and Offensive Player of the Year,
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But it's really not that far of a stretch at all.
Yeah,
No.
and honestly, shout out the Ravens for actually
I'm
finally
telling you.
finding their identity as
Yeah.
a team.
Right.
They're just.
Would you say probably after these last couple weeks, Super Bowl favorites? I mean,
I-
a lot of the other Super Bowl favorites have kind of fallen off.
Besides
I mean,
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are 5-0, but they're getting injured.
They're
Yeah.
getting injured. They're
True.
in close games.
Mhm.
I don't know, but they always
Yeah.
pull it out.
I mean, the Niners have kind of fallen off a
I
little
don't know
bit.
what's
Yeah, they
going
lost
on
the
there.
Cardinals this week.
The Lions, we'll see what happens when they come back. I know
they need to
Evans.
come back.
Evan keeps hating on the Lions,
Mhm.
but they just keep proving them wrong.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, bye week this week,
yeah.
man. Chalk it up as a loss.
Yeah. Defensive player of the year? Are we thinking TJ Watt finally gets his?
I'm thinking
I hope so.
I mean, he's the fastest
TJ
player to get
Watt,
100
and
sacks.
I'm also
Hutchinson.
kind of
Second
thinking
favorite. Second
Xavier
fastest.
McKinney.
Oh,
Could be up there.
yes.
I don't know
Dark
if he'll pull
horse.
it off, but it's definitely a dark
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
If
you
he
agree.
keeps up this pace, I think for
Right.
sure he'll get it.
But yeah, I mean,
well,
I
obviously, if
think,
he keeps up this pace,
Well,
he
yeah,
gets
right.
16 picks. So I think he would
I,
get it.
I would hope so.
but yeah,
Uh,
I think TJ deserves
Yeah.
it.
I think TJ.
I like.
Some people say TJ got robbed last year, but
I think
He did.
got robbed.
yeah.
I would really like to see TJ get it. But I think another guy, Aiden Hutchinson,
Mhm.
Yeah.
he's leading the league in sacks. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
He is a beast.
And actually, I don't know if he's leading anymore because they had the bye week. So I don't know how close
Mhm.
everybody was. But, I mean, I'm sure he'll get right back on track.
Mm.
But yeah, I think those three guys
Right.
probably right now are in
Right.
the discussion.
As of right now, are we saying offensive rookie or Jane Daniels?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not
Defensive
gonna-
rookie of the year. I mean, we haven't really been paying attention to the defensive rookies. They haven't really been paying, or I mean, Latu had a strip sack against Caleb
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah.
I don't think really there's any crazy
Standout.
like DB
Standout.
but I would say probably someone on the line. I don't
Well, the
really
draft
know.
was very offensive heavy.
Yeah, I think. Well, what was it like? The first 16
I was
picks
gonna say
were
we're all
offensive
offensive.
players?
So,
Maybe Latu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
was
our
the first one
best
off the
guess.
board, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you figure.
That's
I really
enough.
don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That question came from Peter. Shout out Peter.
Shout
And this
out.
question comes from Preston. And I feel like I feel like I already might know
Okay.
your guys' answers on this one, but quarter season, is there a team that we should start to panic about?
Hmm.
A favorite, a
I'm
playoff
between two.
favorite that is kind of so far downhill.
I'm kind of between two, but I'm just gonna say Bengals.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like, because you keep saying like, oh, like they're playing good teams and they're losing, but they're still losing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they actually 1-4?
Yes.
You're coming up with, especially the division they're in at this point, they probably aren't going to win it. It'd be very
Yeah.
hard for them to come back. And you honestly can just look everyone in the face and be like, what are we doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think a big part of that is the defense allowing so many points, but there's been problems on offense too. But, I'd probably go Bengals.
Yeah, I mean that's a good pick. I mean, we want to go NFC, I would say the 49ers.
I was thinking that too.
I mean, obviously, everybody just expects them when everybody gets healthy on their team, for them just to be like fine.
Mm.
And we don't even know if McCaffrey's coming back this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that easy when everybody gets back that they're just going to be fine and
Yeah.
good. Like, I think it's gonna be more than that. So I think they're definitely, they're looking at maybe not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
if I were McCaffrey, I'd be chilling at home with Olivia Copo too and just
Yeah.
chalk up the season.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, they're just losing a lot of close
Yeah.
games to bad teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sad.
Was that the
Those
last?
were the
Okay.
only questions I had.
Okay.
Now
like
we're gonna
those
get into
questions.
Capper Glazer hater for the week,
Okay.
and
Let me get these up here.
So let's run through who we picked last week.
Okay.
Kind of see how we did. I'll start it off. My capper was Brees Hall.
Hmm.
I don't know what's up with the New York Jets, but I mean, and I know Chris predicted
What'd I
all
say?
this. But he's not doing too hot.
No.
And I don't even think Braylon Allen's doing too hot either.
The Jets are not doing hot.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with them.
And I feel like it's more about like what Brees Hall was projected to do. That's why it means more.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was projected to be like a top 3.
Yeah, top 3 fantasy pick. Like in general, like.
Hey,
yeah.
I wasn't gonna draft him no matter what.
My Glazer was Jane Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I love Caleb Williams. He's doing better each week. And I didn't answer this question when I asked it, but I would rather have Caleb Williams than Jane Daniels, even though I glaze Jane Daniels so much.
That's crazy.
But I'm glad that there's actually comp now. You know that
I agree.
That Caleb Williams,
it is
Jane Daniels NFC Championship in the future gonna hit. That's gonna hit. That game's gonna hit.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, we play the Commanders. I think right after we come off the bye week.
Popcorn ready.
What are they? We'll get to that later.
So I think that's gonna be a really good game. I think high scoring. I think, or maybe our defense will just shut them down.
Hopefully.
And my hater was Devon Achane. I don't understand how, usually when the backup QB comes in, the running backs go crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is with him. I don't understand what the difference is with Tua in, you go crazy, and then Tyler Huntley comes in, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I know he got hurt.
Concussion.
He did get a concussion last week. But even like the game against the Titans, he still wasn't doing anything.
They look confused.
Yeah, that team. They need something bad. They need Tua. They need either Tua back bad or they need to make it trade for Bryce Young or something. But they need to do something.
It's just funny because a lot of people were mentioning how like Tua may not be that big of a part on the offense, but I mean, who knows now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, bouncing over to me, my capper was Kyler Murray. He just kind of played the same old. He had that 50-yard touchdown rush, which was pretty good, and I guess they won. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Let him on a fourth quarter comeback.
Yeah, he did. And I guess I'm also looking at this from a fantasy perspective. But yeah, I mean, he's just not looking as dynamic as you would want him to look as a Cardinals fan. Mm-hmm. And maybe Cardinals fans may feel differently. But yeah, I mean, I'd just like to see a little more out of him. Glazers, I put Derrick Henry, but I know Evan said that, so I switched up and I put Nico Collins. I'm pretty sure he left with a hamstring injury at halftime, right? He still put up a lot of yards and he put up a touchdown. So yeah, I think hopefully he comes back. But yeah, he played good. Then my hater, I put Jacoby Brissett. Think he.
I thought you were hating on Jerry Jones.
That was last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett. Still hating on him. He, I don't know. I think it might be time for a change. Bring in Drake.
Who knows? Who knows what they'll do?
Bring in Drake.
Can't get worse.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
My capper was Josh Allen, and he did not have a good game this week. So I don't know. I thought he was going to play better, but he didn't. My Glazer, Derrick Henry, kind of like Chris was saying. Derrick Henry did what Derrick Henry does.
Yeah, I did great.
Not much to say about that. My hater's Brandon Ayuk, and he went nuts.
Yeah.
Right when I took
maybe
him
I gave him the motivation he needed. Maybe he was watching.
Shout out Brandon Ayuk. If you were watching, we'd love to have you on the pod.
I'm so sorry for benching you.
Yeah.
So kind of a bad pick, but.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like this was finally the week he was like, let's show the people why I needed that.
So if you guys need any players that need to play better, I can write them down.
Yeah. Please.
Sorry, on Devon Achane.
Yeah, actually, I'll group into the Devon Achane.
All right, so are we starting with capper?
Yes.
All right, who's our capper? Let's see. I wonder if we don't talk about this beforehand, so it is possible we have overlap. But hang on. We'll see here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's funny. It's funny. I literally just said that because we do have some overlap. So me and Evan both put down Marvin Harrison Jr.
Why don't you speak for us, man? Why do you think? Okay. What do you think?
I mean, he had a good game against the Commanders. He scored, and then I don't know. Kyler kind of went back to that week 1 thing where he just wasn't looking at him.
Yeah. I mean, he had 7 targets. Yeah. Only 2 receptions.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Though. So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the game. So I mean, if we're just looking at the box score, that seems pretty bad. But it's possible
It's
it's
situational,
possible those weren't
right.
catchable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're the receiver you draft 4th overall, you'd expect more, and I mean, I guess it's possible they're not drawing up plays for him. I mean, they did week 2 after the disappointing week 1, or was it
Yeah.
week 3? It was week 2, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And then he scored again week 3, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. He just
Yep.
went back to how he kind of was week 1. So hopefully next week he'll be a bit better.
Agreed.
I wrote down Josh Allen.
I know it pains your heart.
It pains my heart because I don't know. 9 for 30 is crazy.
Jeez.
9 for 30.
I didn't even know it was that bad.
It
That's
was
a rough
that bad.
stat line.
And they were still in that game.
They were still in that game. I did do a little bit of research and watch that game back. There was a couple of drops by Bills receivers and tight ends, but 9 for 30, that's
not
on
going to do it.
receivers. But yeah, I mean, they're playing the Jets on Monday night. The Jets have been struggling, and division
This
rival.
honestly is a must-win game for both teams.
This is a must-win game for both teams. Division rivals. It's going to be a good one. I think Josh Allen elevates his play and he gets back on track.
All right.
Ooh,
I mean, do you have anything else to add about Marvin Harrison?
No, I pretty much agree with everything you said. I mean,
Right. All right, let's get into our Glazer.
I saw your
Our
boy.
Glazer?
Oh, you saw who I put
Yeah.
down? Do you have the same person?
Nope.
you saw who I had?
No, he saw who I had.
I have someone similar though.
Similar? All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Darnell Mooney. DJ Moore.
I'll take
So I have DJ Moore. Evan wrote down Tucker Kraft, and Chris wrote down Darnell Mooney. Evan, we'll start over with you. Tucker Kraft, good game.
Very
Amazing
good
game, actually.
Very good.
Very
game.
good game, and
I was surprised.
I'm sad that I didn't start him because I was literally telling Chris, should I start him? And
Yeah.
then I never did.
Yeah.
I think he had like 25 points on my bench. Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw flashes of this last year, but ever since Luke Musgrave got hurt and he came in, he just kind of shown flashes of like just being like that dirty work, like tight end, like he's gonna get everything done for you, and then when he gets the ball, he's gonna get as many yards as he can. Like you've seen flashes from him, and he's improved so much. And the past 2 weeks he's had good games, and I think he's gonna continue to get the ball more because it pays off with his hard work.
Is Musgrave back?
Well, that was last season.
No, but is he back now?
He is back
so
now.
Did Tucker take his
So
job?
after Tucker came in, he played pretty well that he took his job basically. And yeah, I just like what I see out of him. He had 2 touchdowns, like 88 yards. And like every play that he gets the ball, he's gonna make that first guy miss. He's gonna get some yak.
We love that yak.
Yeah, we like that yak.
Attack.
And he's just fun to watch. Like when he gets the ball, I think Jim Nance said it like during the game, and he was like, he plays the game like how it's supposed to be played. Like he gets the ball hard nose, like he's like
looking to run through somebody.
Yeah, like he's your typical like George Kittle, Mercedes Lewis,
old ass
type.
Mercedes Lewis, bro.
But yeah, I mean, I think he's just gonna continue to get better, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, Darnell Mooney.
I wrote down Darnell Mooney. Also on my bench in fantasy. I was kind of sour about this, but at the same time, you got to be happy for him.
He won anyways.
What?
He won anyways. So.
I know. But yeah, it's cool to see him succeed to that level. I mean, Big Kirko was slinging it to everybody except Kyle. Well, Kyle Pitts. No comment on Kyle Pitts. But yeah, I mean, Drake London also had an amazing game, but Darnell Mooney, he's looking his way a lot. Yeah. And I think he could be, his number 1 target, but I think Drake London still might be. But yeah, it was just cool to see former Bear put up crazy numbers that, we didn't really get to see in Chicago. Yeah, I just hope he keeps finding success.
Yeah.
And to come back to Chicago.
Right. I had DJ Moore. After being a bit sour after these past couple weeks, finally kind of clicked with Caleb Williams, which just as a Bears fan, lovely to see when your star QB star rookie QB finally is able to click with your number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
And 2 touchdowns at the half. All around great game from the Bears. All around, hopefully this can keep happening in the future. And I think we're in for another good game from Caleb and DJ, and honestly the whole offense against Jacksonville and London.
Yes.
Yeah. Which they're already there, probably.
Yeah,
They left today.
Eberflus said he wanted to get their clock right, which I
fair.
won't hit on that.
Fair.
Yeah.
So then,
Hater.
Oh, hater.
I already wrote mine down.
Same.
So we're just waiting on Chris.
All right.
Waiting on Chris.
Mine's a pretty fresh one.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, I'm
All
ready.
right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Oh,
Yo,
okay.
Dobbs. I like
Yeah.
these. I like all these.
All right. I
Not
saw
how you
him.
spell it. That's not how you spell it, Chris.
Yeah, it is. How do you spell it?
Derek.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw you writing that down. I thought you were writing down Derrick Henry. I was like, no way you're hating on Derrick Henry right
Oh,
now.
well, no wonder he spells it, or no
Yeah.
wonder he's bad.
Anyway,
Oh, it is.
I picked Debo Samuel. Chris put down Derek Carr.
Derrick.
Derek.
And Evan wrote down Romeo Dobbs. Debo.
Derrick.
I mean, he's the kind of guy where, like, you know, when McCaffrey was out, he always gets reps in the backfield. So
Yeah.
you'd feel like he would get that sort of production again, but he's been lacking recently.
Yeah.
It's looked bad.
And he did not have a good game against the Cardinals.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I guess you could kind of chalk that up to just Ayuk having a really good game, but like even then, like, I mean, Brock Purdy, he likes to get the ball around, and I know people last year were calling Brock Purdy a yak merchant,
Yeah.
just because of Debo.
Yeah.
You know, little like screen pass to Debo, he'll take it for like 40 yards. He's not really doing that. Well, at least recently, he hasn't really been doing that. So
Yeah.
you know, hopefully Debo can kind of go back to that last year production, especially since I have Brock Purdy on my fantasy team.
And I have Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, it'll help both of us out.
I
so.
agree.
Chris, Derek Carr?
Yeah, I wrote down Derek Carr. This is coming fresh off of watching the Monday night game. Yeah, he's kind of my third QB, so I would like him in fantasy. I would like him to step it up, but you're talking about a Saints team that has lost 3 straight games.
After coming out the gate swinging.
And we were talking about Derek Carr MVP campaign.
Yeah, we were.
He always does
No, we
this.
weren't.
Yes, we were.
Who was talking about that?
We were.
Yeah.
I
But,
wasn't.
You know, clearly that's not happening anymore, and he
We
just
drank
got
the Kool-Aid.
injured. He just got injured. 3 straight losses, hard to swallow. Drink the Kool-Aid.
That's a saying. It is a saying.
Hard to swallow the Kool-Aid now.
Yeah, it
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it just hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked the same. He's made some bad throws, and yeah, I feel like it's not going to get any better.
Derek Carr kind of reminds me of Alex Moran in Blue Mountain State.
Shout out Blue Mountain
Yeah,
State.
shout out Blue Mountain State.
Hopefully they can get scheduled to play against Illinois State one time.
I don't think that's possible.
Nothing's
Hey,
impossible.
Chris, it's not a real team.
Bro, this guy's got jokes. Anyways,
No. Like for real, they're not real.
They're not real, though. Like,
well, yeah, because the characters graduated.
No. Like the team isn't real.
Alex Morant's not, like, actually
Oh yeah. No, okay, whatever, bro. I'm not that gullible. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
and Romeo Dobbs. I mean,
Go to Romeo
you kind of already talked about this earlier. But
Yeah, I mean, I basically talked about it earlier. Got suspended for, conduct detrimental to the
Yeah.
team. So I think that explains itself. It didn't make us lose, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Why are we skipping practice?
Come on now. Practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
So that's why.
It's not a documentary.
No, it's not.
No, it's not a documentary.
All right,
Okay,
predictions
roll the picks, man.
or parlay?
Parlay.
Parlay. Okay.
Okay.
I can start this off. I actually thought about picking him last week, but I didn't, just based off the fact that they were
Stuff
playing
like
the Packers, and it wouldn't have really mattered because he did score in the game, and he scored every game this season. And some would say that he's due not to get one, but I'm gonna go Kyron Williams.
Yeah. It's funny. Everybody, once they found out Kyron was going to be returning punts, they were all like, "Oh, like he's not going to be good." Blah blah blah. But he's still the
playing.
workhorse. He's
Yeah.
carrying.
Yep.
And they drafted Blake Corum too, but like he's not even getting any reps really.
Yeah, I think
He got a lot more, I think, against the Packers.
Yeah, but in the game, I think they're talking about that Kyron Williams gets like 80% of the snaps, which is like unheard of in the league
Yeah.
now.
A lot.
So
Yeah, he
that's
can
why
move.
I picked him.
Chris?
Can't not bet on that.
I put Jamar Chase. Now, I've been going running back these past 2 weeks, and I said I've been playing it safe. So, I mean, Jamar Chase, you could really say isn't playing it that safe. They're playing the Giants secondary, who, it's pretty up in the air with them. So I'd like to think that maybe the Bengals get back on track, and he finds the end zone.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase.
All right. Not gonna lie, I had to look at the notes. I low-key forgot who I picked, but I got it here. David Montgomery, Lions.
Okay.
Very run-heavy team. It's always either Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery, or both of them will score.
It's usually like Jahmyr Gibbs gets a 9 out of 10, and then
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery's in, yeah.
And I know this hurts because I have Jahmyr Gibbs on my fantasy team, but I don't want to be biased. I did that with Devon Achane because I have him on my fantasy team and it didn't work.
Yep.
So I'm flipping the script. We're taking David Montgomery, who it's not a bad pick. He still scores. Exactly.
Pick.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that pick this week. It's a good pick. So we got Kyron Williams, David Montgomery, and Jamar Chase. Put that in.
Yeah,
I think that's our best pick yet.
Yeah.
Our best anytime touchdown parlay yet.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting it in as well.
Yeah, I'm putting it in.
I'm not. I'm broke. So
I'm
gonna put it in. Hopefully we get
guys.
a no sweat token. I'll put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Actually, don't put that in because then we'll win.
yeah, I'm very unlucky. So
When was the last time you won a bet?
Oh man.
the Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl,
Yeah.
What year was that?
2022.
Maybe we shouldn't have told them that. Kind of hurts our credibility.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But they've won bets more. They win bets too. So
And I'm saying that's a good pick. That David Montgomery one, that's a good pick. So,
Ooh, should I throw out a first touchdown?
what would be your first touchdown bet for the week that you could throw on anybody?
Let me look at the games real quick.
just pick the Bears game.
Pick the Bears game?
Pick the Bears game.
If I had to go Bears first touchdown against Jacksonville, I would obviously choose the Bears. I go just off gut instinct. Caleb Williams rushing touchdown. Caleb Williams had first touchdown.
All right.
Okay, what would you pick for the Packers game then?
For the Packers game,
Yep. Which we are going to.
which we are going to be going to.
Yep.
Should I choose a Packers player?
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose Jaden Reed. First touchdown. I like that pick. I like Jaden Reed.
Who are they playing?
They are playing the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Okay.
So maybe Marvin Harrison.
It might be a loss.
They got a.
It's gonna be hard for me. Oh no, they lost.
Oh my gosh.
No.
All right, let's get into these predictions.
Okay, let's see these predictions.
49ers Seahawks.
Oof.
Man, this is
this is
our
a kicker.
Thursday night game.
Ooh, that'll be a good game.
So
I'm rocking with the Niners. I think they can. I think they'll lock in this week.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm going Niners. I think they lock in, and I think Seattle may continue to have trouble. I honestly think it'll be a close game, though. But yeah, Niners.
I'm going Niners as well. For all the same reasons as you guys.
All right.
Cardinals Packers. Oh wait, we'll do it in order.
Okay.
Bears Jags.
Bears, pretty no question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jags.
God.
Just cause.
Sure.
Just cause I can. Cardinals Packers.
I'm going with the Cardinals. Just cause.
I'm gonna go Packers.
Oh man.
Obviously.
Oh man. I'm gonna go Packers just because I'm going to the game and I feel like out of respect.
Right.
I'll go Packers.
Texans Patriots.
Texans.
This could be that game where we're all watching back and you're recording and we're like, why do we choose the Texans?
Nah, I think
So
Or
for
not.
that reason, I'm choosing the Texans. I'm not choosing Patriots.
I'm going Texans as well. Commanders Ravens. Dang, I hate that this is a 12 o'clock game and I won't be able to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Ravens.
Go with the Ravens.
You know, I know I'd be loving on Jane Daniels, but I just think I don't think that defense is too good. The Commanders defense.
I agree.
So I think Lamar and Derrick Henry is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I can see being close at first, but Derrick Henry's going to run all over them. And Washington is a good offense, but I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with the Ravens.
Okay.
So Ravens.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go Ravens as well. I think that it'll be a close game, though. And I think honestly, this is a good spread if anybody wanted to take it at Commanders plus 6.5.
Ooh.
So I think this could
I
be
like that.
a field goal at the end of the game type
Yeah.
of game. Browns Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles had a bye this week, right?
Oh, that's
So-
true.
I'm gonna go Eagles as well. The
Eagles.
Browns,
The
and
Browns are
especially
so
Deshaun
dysfunctional.
Watson, they do not look good at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go strictly off the Eagles being coming off a bye, but no, I
I'm
don't.
going with the Eagles unless the Browns start Jameis.
You can't change nothing. They said they're not changing. I'm going Eagles. I think this is gonna be a weird game or a blowout.
Buccaneers Saints.
I'm going Buccaneers.
Bucks.
I think the Saints have. Well, Derek
Falling
Carr might
off.
be hurt now.
Yeah,
So-
true.
Ooh,
Buccaneers. I'm going
Spencer
Buccaneers.
Rattler.
No, it was some
It was someone
other
else.
guy from
He
Fresno
came.
State.
Someone else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Taysom Hill either. I don't know.
Colts Titans. I'm gonna go Colts. I think
Colts.
Anthony Richardson will be back. I'm expecting him to at least play better than he has the past 2 times he's been out there.
Yeah, I think Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco is going to be better than Mason Rudolph or Will Levis. So I'm going to go Colts.
Hopefully we get another meme.
I hope.
Chargers Broncos. I'm gonna go Chargers, just cause I don't even know.
This is kind
I
of
don't
a
even
trap
know.
game.
I'm going with the Broncos. They looked good against the Raiders. I think and the Chargers haven't they haven't really looked too good. Herbert's kind of,
What's
iffy.
going- Did they play this week?
No, they were on a bye.
I really want to go Broncos, but I'm going to say the Chargers off a bye. I'm
Mhm.
going to go Chargers.
Okay.
Who are you going with? Chargers?
Yep.
Okay.
Steelers Raiders. I'm gonna go Steelers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. They kept it close with the Cowboys. The Raiders are not good.
They don't even know who's starting.
Yeah.
It might be
Especially
Aiden
they're not gonna have
O'Connell.
Devontae. They're still have Gardner
Yeah.
Minshew at quarterback. Their defense, they got Max Crosby, but
Yeah, but the Steelers got TJ Watt, so
I'm
and,
going.
and the Steelers got Justin Fields.
yeah, going
Steelers.
Steelers.
Lions Cowboys. That's a
Oh, come on,
325 game, man. That could be a Sunday night game if it really.
Yeah,
Wanted to
they
be.
could flex that.
I'm rocking with the Lions.
I am also gonna rock with the Lions.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Cowboys, I just don't think they've looked too good recently.
Yeah, they've had some internal struggles.
Like they almost the Giant that game with the Giants was close.
Mhm.
The Steelers game was close. I think this is
This is the last week
Good
I'm
for
gonna
Lions.
pick against the Lions.
And then-
Unless they're playing like a crazy team next
Yeah.
week. But this is the last week that I'm going to say that they're on the downtrend. And after this, I'll just flat out say that I was wrong.
okay.
Mhm.
This
So
could be
I'm-
game of the
I'm
week,
going to go
could
Cowboys.
be.
or it could not be.
I do think it's America's game.
Falcons,
Oh,
Panthers.
well, that makes sense.
The
Sunday
Panthers look
night?
so bad. No, it's just not
Oh,
Sunday
okay.
night. That would be bad.
Wait, are you sure?
It's not.
Okay.
Falcons, Panthers.
Falcons.
I want to shoot in the.
Falcons.
I can. I'll go Falcons.
Bengals, Giants. I think the Bengals are going to
Yeah.
bounce back.
Is this the
This
Sunday
is-
night game?
Yes. This is the game they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
I know it's not that great of a team,
Yeah.
but a team that's coming off a win in the Giants. But Joe Burrow gave a little, wake up call after the game. He said, "This is not a championship caliber team. Obviously, it's not. But I think Bengals will wake up this week."
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals.
You say Bengals too, Connor?
Okay.
Monday night game is Bills Jets.
I'm going Bills. Enough said.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with the
Please.
Bills too.
Ooh.
Do we know? I heard Aaron Rodgers say he hurt his ankle. Do we know if that's going to impact him playing at all?
Right. I don't know. I mean, I just have a feeling he'll be out there, especially if he came back
Yeah.
in the game.
He did.
I would assume he'd be out there. There's a lot of factors that could go into this. I mean, if Rodgers doesn't play, maybe Devontae gets traded to the Jets like midweek. Who knows if he plays in that game? I mean, that's far out there for sure. But man, I want to pick the Jets so bad. I just want to. Well, do we really know about Josh Allen though?
I was just about to say Josh Allen might be hurt as well.
I'm gonna go Jets.
Okay.
Go Jets.
Interesting.
Might as well try.
And that was the last game.
That's it.
So now we're getting into
Yeah. Let's just get this.
the parlay punishment. Connor or Chris, show what we got this week.
Would you like to do the? Oh, he's already going at it.
What is it?
Tabasco,
Shout out
scorpion
Tabasco.
sauce Tabasco.
Okay,
And
you want me to get you a chip?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to get a spoon too? or
Yep,
you
I'll
just-
get a spoon.
Okay. So yeah, we don't want another sardine incident. So we went with our first option of last week, and we just got the hot sauce, traditional. Do you have a good spice tolerance?
No.
I don't either, which I probably shouldn't be saying, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty apparent after we did the Blazing Challenge.
Evan, I might need a garbage.
Really?
Right in the garbage?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I brought these. I brought my donkey chips over, so we don't have to use any of your chips, man.
And for your drinking pleasure, we have body armor. No special prime. They haven't reached out to us, so. Would you like water instead?
Yeah. Also, hey, get the ice cream out of the fridge.
Oh,
Freezer.
are we allowing the ice cream?
Well, we can do it after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rusty,
Well, yeah.
come
Just
here.
get it out though, like ready.
Rusty, come here.
Oh, don't let Rusty get a hold
Oh
of
yeah.
it.
Let me get a straight chip.
Yeah, this is like a max heat on the heat scale
Hold
for
these.
Tabasco. Yes.
Not too much, please. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, a little drop is just gonna be enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just a drop. We have heard that this tastes pretty good. It's just really hot. There's hints of pineapple in there.
Here, Chris, can you hold the spoon?
Come on,
Wait,
come on,
hang on, let me
guys.
see.
Don't do me like that.
We're not gonna do you like that. We're just gonna. Oh, it's very thick.
That's not good.
Oh.
Hey, Rusty. At this point, just get
Some
him
got
out
on
of the
my
chip,
leg.
man.
Oh, hang on, it's getting on me. No! This is friendly fire. Oh no.
It is maybe.
It got on the Suzuki jersey. Okay,
Here,
hang
how
on.
about you take this?
Oh my God.
And then eat
Wait,
the
hang on.
chip. Okay.
Dude. Oh my God.
No.
No, look
Lick
at
the
this, look at
spoon. Lick the
Look at this.
spoon.
Guys, it's hot.
Lick the spoon.
Okay.
Guys, it smells hot.
Ooh.
How are we feeling after that? Let us know how are we feeling?
I mean, that just kicks right away. Do you mind if I have this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
No, don't lick it, Rusty.
Well,
Were the sardines better?
yeah. Thank you guys for watching. As always, we've been 220 takes.
Wait, we might need to roll.
We've been 220 takes. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully with a successful parlay so nobody has to go through something like this ever again.
No, don't eat the chips, Rusty.
See you guys next week.